items before I turn the mic over to Ms. Eleanor Carter, who is going to moderate this. Brothers, can I have your attention, please? Okay, couple housekeeping items. Mr. Rufus Montgomery has left the room. We can't have two trustees actually in here like this, so he left, so we'll be in compliance with the sunshine law. So Trustee Kevin Lawson, okay, Kevin is going to be here to represent the board in relation to athletics. Also, if you want to buy tickets or additional tickets to the barbecue or to the rooftop party, you can go to www.famualumnihouston.org and you can get them. Okay. Without further ado, turn the mic over to Midwest Regional Vice President, Ms. Eleanor Carter, who will moderate this session.
President, and to all of you, welcome to the first FAMU National Alumni Association Athletics Panel Discussion. My name is Eleanor Carter. I'm a proud former FAMU athlete and tennis team player from 1988 to 1988, trying to make myself younger, to 1992, and I will be your MC for this session. How many former FAMU athletes are actually in the room? Show of hands. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. We must be back. We have 5 very special guests this afternoon, which we are very glad to have here with us. I think that 6, Greg just introduced our special guest, also to my left. But in addition, we have Mr. Earl Dwayne Robinson, our interim athletic director, to my right. Mr. Byron Samuels, head FAMU basketball coach. Dr. Carl Goodman, former head men's tennis coach. Mr. Alex Wood, head football coach. And Mr. Marvin E. Green, Jr., head golf coach. Now, following a formal introduction of each of these guests, we will invite each coach to share just a few words with you. Please make note of whatever questions that you have and save them until after each person has spoken. We will open the floor and give you the opportunity for Q&A after all of these coaches have shared with you. At the end of the session, we will also have a raffle. We talked about a drawing for a grand prize valued at over $150, consisting of a FAMU women's basketball sweatsuit, 6 passes to the famed Muhammad Ali Center, a 125th anniversary FAMU tote bag, and metallic graduation cap keychain. So be sure to purchase your raffle tickets by or before the end of the session. First, let me introduce to you our new interim athletic director as of January 2015, Mr. Earl Dwayne Robinson. Upon stepping into this role, he left behind his job as the athletic department's director of NCAA compliance and was also formerly an associate AD in 2006 to 2008. He has previously also been employed in the realm of athletics at FSU, Alcorn State, and Clark Atlanta University. He says our students are ambassadors, and to do well in the field and academically, we need to support them. He also has stated in a recent publication in the Tallahassee Democrat that everybody is accountable for FAMU athletics. His plans are to be involved with the 2020 Quarterback Club and other community organizations as well. And he has stated that former interim AD Nelson Townsend, who recruited him initially, instilled that if they, the staff, keep the students in mind, that everything they do will enable them to make good decisions about athletics. Our next guest is our head golf coach, Mr. Marvin E. Green. Many of us know him not only independently for what he does, but by way of his wife, his now famous wife, Ms. Sika Rose Green, who has been an ambassador for the 10 for 10 campaign. But he himself has coached for 15 years. He has 4 national minority runner-up championships with our golf team. and coached 4 minority golf champions. In 2012, he was inducted into the African American Golfers Hall of Fame, and he has also been challenged with the golf program being deactivated twice. In the process, though, he's raised over $30,000 to reinstate that golf team when it was twice suspended. He currently serves as the Director of Student Activities, and you can't help but not notice that he's also a member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Now introducing Coach Byron Samuels, head basketball coach. Coach Samuels has a career path that spans 11 schools in 26 years and 3 head coaching posts. The first of those head coaching posts occurred at Hampton University, a former FAMU MEAC rival that is now an NCAA Division I member. During Coach Samuels' tenure at Hampton, the teams he directed there broke 14 separate individual and team records. Also, both of his recruiting classes at Hampton were ranked number 1 in the MEAC from 1995 to 1997. Coach Samuels has also worked at the University of Tennessee for 4 years, where he helped them to earn NCAA tournament berths, highlighted by an SEC co-championship and a Sweet 16 appearance in the year 2000. Just prior to accepting his current position at FAMU, Coach Samuels coached at the University of Georgia, where his responsibilities included academic performance, player scheduling, recruitment, summer camps, and community outreach. Coach Samuels is a native of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Now introducing Coach Alex Wood, head football coach. Coach Wood was recruited by the late interim AD Nelson Townsend to become FAMU's 17th head football coach. He has more than 35 years of coaching experience, including within the professional realm. While at the University of Buffalo, he is credited with directing a prolific offense which averaged over 400 yards and 30 points per game. Overall, the team under his direction ranked 4th in total offense, 3rd in scoring offense, and in 2012 became the first Division I FBS program to cover over 2,000 rushing yards and over 2,000 passing yards in the same game. While coaching at the University of Miami, Coach Wood led the team to 2 national championships and a perfect 12-0 season in 1991. Among his other accolades, Coach Wood also served as assistant coach in the NFL for the Arizona Cardinals, formerly Louisville, Cincinnati Bengals, and Minnesota Vikings. Coach Wood is a native of the Midwest region, hailing from Massillon, Ohio, where he skillfully participated in both football and wrestling in his early years of childhood at Washington High School. Today, Coach Wood is not just a celebrity, but also a husband and a father of 3 children. Coach Wood. Coach Carl Goodman of Family Tennis. I know that many of you who attend church have heard of Reverend Doctors. Well, next let me introduce you to Coach Dr. Carl Goodman. But first, let me also introduce you to another specially invited guest. Is Miss Donna Millington in the room? Okay, I know she is a pharmacologist and a physician who works in the early wee hours of the morning. She was trying to make it over after her shift got off at 3 a.m. She actually partied with us last night, but she will be here later this afternoon. She is a former #1 FAMU ranked tennis player and a former teammate of mine who just relocated to Houston and is joining the Houston chapter. How many of you have heard of the television series The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah.
Well, also born and raised in Philadelphia is the great Coach Goodman. He's the Assistant Dean of Research and Graduate Studies of College of Pharmacy and recipient of the Advanced Teacher and Researcher of the Year Award in this year of 2015. Like most competitive tennis players, Coach Goodman began learning and playing the sport of tennis at an early age, the age of 10, and even participated in the USTA National Junior Tennis League. He later played varsity tennis in college in Jacksonville University, followed by FAMU. Coach Goodman began his career as a graduate assistant at FAMU under the tutelage of the late, great Coach Robert T. Mungin. In that position, he coached both the women's and men's tennis teams from 1988 to 1992. In 1995, well after obtaining his PhD degree in pharmacology and toxicology, Coach Goodman returned to FAMU as an assistant professor in the College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences and also became head men's tennis coach. As head coach, Dr. Goodman recruited and built up the men's tennis team to become the perennial powerhouse among all HBCUs. The team subsequently won 7 MEAC championships, has been a MEAC finalist 8 times over the past 15 years of its existence, and been ranked as high as number 52 among the 75 Division I teams in the nation, making it the highest ranked of any HBCU Division I tennis program. Academically, the FAMU men's tennis team has had the highest GPA of all FAMU athletic programs in the past 6 years of its existence and one of the best graduation rates. Just last month, 4 FAMU tennis players were named to the 2015 MEAC Tennis All-Academic Team because of their academic success during the past year. More than half of all former tennis team players have obtained master's or post-secondary degrees in a variety of disciplines such as business, law, dentistry, medicine, and education, for example. But ultimately, Coach Dr. Goodman is a 2014 FAMU Hall of Fame inductee and a proud husband and father of 2 twin daughters. Welcome, Coach Goodman. Now let's hear from the coaches themselves. And we're going to start, if you will, with basketball. We'll follow by golf, tennis, and then football.
Thank you so much. Thank everyone for being here. Normally, I wouldn't need this, just use my coaching voice, but I don't have it. Why to give to FAMU? And this is sort of what I talk about in recruiting, but I want to go back to yesterday. And I want to go back to what I've been telling recruits and what I feel in my heart and in my spirit since I took this job back in June 15th of 2014. Tommy Mitchell blew me away yesterday. His words were powerful, they were motivating, and they were heartfelt. And the story of FAMU is in your hearts. And that's why you give to FAMU. And what's in your heart, when it's in your heart the way it's been in your heart, and I'm hearing everyone that's been up on the podium to speak, and all the comments about FAMU have been heartfelt. When you got that story in your heart, it has to come out, and it's come out this weekend in a big way. And I can't tell you how motivated I am to help lead your basketball program in this university and elevate it in such a way that you'll be proud of us. The FAMU story is an incredible success story. It's an American success story. And Brother Mitchell hit it on the head. We have to tell this story, and we're trying to tell this story to recruits. And every time I go into a home or a school, and every time we as a staff do our research on FAMU, I find out just how incredible this place really is. And I am so proud. I am so proud, and I'm humbled, and I'm honored to be a part. I didn't graduate from FAMU. I knew from afar at Hampton, when I worked at the University of South Florida, that I thought it was a special place, but now being here a little less than a year, it's everything that I thought it would be. It is a special, special place. When I took the job, and here's the other thing that's so special for FAMU, to me, and I just love this in my spirit each and every day. It is so great to be at a school that's not afraid to say the name of Jesus Christ every day. There was a breakfast, faculty breakfast, I think one of the first events I went to on campus in fall, and we had a prayer, and it was a stirring prayer. And I called my wife, who wanted to be here and was giving me a hard time this weekend for not bringing her. Well, I got it last night. Tommy, I might just stay in Biloxi. But that breakfast, there was a stirring prayer by one of our faculty members. And I called my wife and I said, listen, this place is incredible. Because we're in a public institution and people are claiming the name of Jesus Christ. When I decided to take this job, and we all look for confirmation, I'm sitting in my home in Georgia. I'm at the University of Georgia, and I'm in a comfortable job. I work hard, but wasn't a whole lot of stress on me at the University of Georgia and in my job. I just sort of did what I needed to do every day, and the wheel just kept on turning. But I'm trying to find confirmation about taking the job at FAMU. And as I'm doing my research, my eyes were fixated on the FAMU shield and seal. The seal of university. And I just kept staring at that seal. And that seal just kept staring at me. And the first thing that just really hit me in my spirit was that cross that's in that shield of FAMU. Shield of faith. And that spoke to me. That spoke to my spirit. And then I looked to the left, and it says heart. And there's a book that's open. It's not just any book, it's the Bible. And I recognize it to be the Bible. And so I don't know what the founders were saying, but the thing started to speak to me. And the Bible talks about the heart over 300 times. Love the Lord with all your heart. The deceitful heart, transformed heart. Talks about the heart over 300 times. And the founders knew, to me, and this is my story, and I may be butchering it up, I don't know what the founders meant, but my interpretation was this. The founders knew it's not only important, we had to have transformed hearts. We're talking 127 years ago. They had transformed hearts. And at the top of that shield was what? The word head. The Bible talks about wisdom. Solomon prayed for wisdom. It's not good enough that our heart be transformed. We had to gain wisdom. And that spoke to my spirit. And I looked to the right, and there's the word hand. And I thought it looked like a gear shift. I still can't quite figure out what it is, but the Bible talks about work. Man shouldn't work. They won't work. Shouldn't eat. If you won't work, shouldn't eat. We've got to work. We've got to learn how to work. We've got to find a skill. We've got to find a trade. It's an agricultural and mechanical, and those are work. Those are working fields for African Americans. The Bible talks about work. Then at the bottom, it says field. And I'm still not sure what that symbol is at the bottom. I need to continue my research. But I know the Bible says we're on the mission field every day. And that spoke to me, and that confirmed in my spirit that FAMU was the place for me to be. And I know you wanted me to talk about basketball, and I will answer your questions about basketball. But I had to tell you why I'm here. I believe God sent me here to lead your basketball program. We won 2 games this past year. Let me go back to the field part. Everything that's happened to me in my life in the last 10 years professionally, I believe helped prepare me for the challenge of leading your basketball program. And the great thing about what the Lord does in our life is this. The work that He does in us, it ain't for us.
All right.
It's for us to give away. And I think that's what the founders meant when they put that field down. We got to go out in the mission fields and give it away. We got to give away our hearts and our heads and our hands and our work. We got to give it away to other people so we can uplift other people. We won 2 games this year. They lost 21 straight games. When I took the job in June, there were 0 players in the program. 0. And we rustled up and we found the best that we could, and they worked their tails off, and they represented FAMU in a proud way. We lost 21 straight games, and our kids came into practice, and they had enthusiasm, unbelievable enthusiasm. They were willing learners. Their spirit wasn't broken. I took them to see the movie Unbroken. To just lift up their spirits, but their spirits weren't broken, and there's so many lessons in that movie Unbroken. You know, the struggle that we go through sometimes is just for a short period. It don't last forever. And if you don't allow it, it can't break your spirit. And so the things that we went through didn't break our kids' spirit, and they're working harder today than they work at any other time in their life because they know something's good on the horizon. I don't mind saying this. I said this to someone the other day. We're close. We're close to winning 20 games next year than we are to 2 because our kids' spirit, and they're fighting, and they're working hard. And so we're moving in the right direction. But 21 straight games we lost, and their spirit wasn't broken. And they came into practice fighting. And when we played on the court, I don't know how many of you have seen us play, but our kids were diving on the floor for loose balls. They were continuing to fight. And I'm proud of that. And I think we've got Tallahassee excited about what we're doing because of our spirit, the spirit of our team. Certainly we need financial support. Our greatest need, and I'll just get to it and I'll shut up. And let me just say this up there. We had 9 guys in the fall with over 3.0 GPA. We had 1 guy on the team with a perfect 4.0. Our team GPA was a 2.89. I'm proud of that. That's pretty high for a basketball team. We slipped up a little bit in the spring, but I believe our GPA overall is about 2.5, 2.6 as a team, which is still pretty good. So we're doing the work in the classroom, and we're doing the work as people. And the one thing we will do, and I promise you, we will represent FAMU with class in all that we do and all that we say. We'll be a good teammate. Our greatest need, and I'm going to shut up, I believe the greatest need for men's basketball. Now, I raised money for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes when I was out of coaching. And the Fellowship of Christian Athletes would always say, time, talents, and treasure. We need your time and your ideas. Now, we don't need your game plans. But we can use your ideas. Time, talent. You've got talent. There's so much talent in this room and in the FAMU family. Time, talent, treasure. We're talking about treasure today. The greatest need, I think, for men's basketball, we need to renovate Gaither Gymnasium so that we can have a place to practice. Now, everyone talks about how beautiful the Lawson Center is, and it is a gorgeous building, and I'm proud to be in it every day. But our kids can't get in there when they need to get in there. We can't, and a lot of people don't know that. And we practice at 7 in the evenings. And we've got to get, if we go at 6 in the morning, we've got to get out by 8. So there's not a lot of window because of the classes that are being taught in there. And we can't teach, we can't be on the floor when classes are being taught. But we've got a great place across the street. My daughter just graduated from a school in Tennessee, small school in Tennessee, well, similar size, 10,000, 1,000 students. And they renovated their old gym for their women's volleyball team. And they did such a great job of renovating the floor and paint and all that other stuff that the women's basketball team wanted to play their games in there. I mean, all it takes is a little bit of money. You got a woodworking company, or you know someone that's got a woodworking company. We need a new floor in there. Some paint, some elbow grease. Let's paint those baskets. Let's get the gears so the baskets can come down so our kids will have a place to practice. We're asking them to take the test on Saturdays when we play. We got no place to study. We need Gaither renovated. I'm I'm not a FAMUan. I'm not a FAMU graduate, but I feel in my spirit that I'm a FAMUan. I love this place. I think it's incredible. I think we've got some incredible leadership, incredible coaches, but they're first-class people first. Jamie Shute, baseball, Coach Wiggins, softball, incredible people. And you can't be a first-class coach, in my opinion, if you ain't a first-class person. And we've got first-class coaches and administrators in this department. And I know you love FAMU because I can just feel it in your spirit. If we could just get your help, your time, your talent, your treasures. We play in Houston on November the 17th, I believe. Houston, I'm counting on you to be at that game, University of Houston. I've already challenged that alumni group in Atlanta. We played Kennesaw State, 500 strong. Brother Lawson, I'm challenging that Jacksonville group. But we need your time, we need your talents, we need your treasures, we need your prayers, and we need to really vacate the gym. Thank you.
And the program, be respectful of some flight schedules for today. We're going to invite the tennis coach to come up next. He is flying back out today. And since I already opened up that can of worms, if anyone would like to express their group affiliations and you're on this dais, please do so when you come up to make your remarks. But I will mention that Coach Goodman is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. When I think about Florida A&M and its athletic program, if most people know me personally. They know I'm kind of a reserved, quiet guy. And for many of you all who don't know anything about FAMU in terms of the men's tennis team, the men's tennis team has been one of the most exceptional programs, right? So just not just at FAMU, but when you look at Foster Nation. I don't talk much about how great it is because I'm part of it. And so I don't want to be like, be egotistic or anything like that because it's not my time to reflect until, I'm about to retire. But when you look at the gentlemen being part of our program, I have been very blessed to be part of our program for like the last 25 years, being under the great tutelage of, as Eleanor mentioned, Robert T. Munson, who everyone knows who's anywhere 50 and above, know anything about Coach Munson in terms of football skills and being a coach and stuff like that. But one of the things he always taught me, and the thing that we instill in our players, is the fact about just, you are greater than me. For those who've been blessed with much, you must give back. And I think our guys have truly given back to our program. We look at certain special types of players, we look for players who are looking at our program. Back maybe since 2006, our program has been predominantly African American or people of color. And I know in this day and time we look at globalization and bringing other players and things like that, you must need that. But it's very proud for us to say that since those years that, when you look at tennis being a majority sport, and you see like Serena Williams and a few other people now making names in terms of being African Americans, our players, therefore by far, were the premier players. When we look at us in terms of our mission here at Florida A&M, in terms of just African American males, the number of guys that we have touched over in the 25 years I've been part of this program, and to see them go on and do bigger and greater things besides outside of tennis has been truly remarkable. I look at this from an athletic standpoint, though, as I told many people before, in 25 years that I've been associated with FAMU Athletics in terms of men's tennis team, we have only lost 3 HBCU programs. I don't think anybody very unfortunate that when they, as you all know, that they suspended the program, and just this past year, we lost 3 more programs. So we got the 6 now, but we're back. I think when I look at my team right now, they're very young, they're very smart, they're very resilient, they're very tough, and it's good to have something like that, knowing that as we always said back to our tennis programs, we don't rebuild, we reload. And after 25 years, it humbles you that now we are in the rebuilding stage. So that's fine, because if anybody knows anything about myself and my team, my players, they're very hard workers, and they don't mind getting their hands dirty and getting their feet wet and stuff like that. I definitely want to thank you all for inviting me here today. I can talk much about our program in terms of just how great our guys have done in the classrooms, on the court. We do have, as Coach was talking earlier about just our staff, our administration. They have done a tremendous job in terms of getting our program together, all the programs together. I think we look at this year alone, look at our women's cross country team, our track team for the women's team, as well as our softball team, and hopefully Coach Stoops will do great later on today. Our teams are back. Our programs are back. And so we need you all just to keep on investing, keep on believing in the coaches, and keep on insisting on helping the students out. I know I just came up here just a little bit earlier today and heard Mr. Mitchell talk about in terms of restricted funds and non-restricted funds. So let me get my acts out there. If any of y'all we have some restricted funds you have not designated, anything like that, please give back to the men's tennis team. It's unfortunate that we had a good nest egg in terms of we raised over the last 20-something years that I have been part of the program. It is down to zero because of the fact that we had to utilize our money in terms of having the program back. But if you have anything that you can give, we definitely appreciate it. I want to thank you again for your time.
I know you guys want to hear about the football team, so I'm going to be quick. I know why y'all in this room. Carl and I can never get this big of a crowd talking about tennis and golf. So we're going to let y'all get to the real deal in a minute, but I want to just say that over the last 20 years, it's really been an experience as far as my matriculation at FAMU. I started taking golf as a business course. We had to take a business elective, business sport, and I took golf under the great Coach Pop Killers. He taught me golf so well that I was playing golf as a recreational golfer and ended up on a golf course beside Joe Ramsey, who was trying to find somebody to teach the beginning golf class. I started teaching the beginning golf class, and 4 years into the beginning golf class, I had 2 guys on a golf team in my class. They said, man, some of the stuff you're teaching us, we're not necessarily getting from our golf coach, who at the time happened to be an assistant basketball coach, compliance director, who was kind of serving as the golf chaperone. I go to Ken Riley, so I'm throwing some names out here so you guys know that, FAMU is a special place because this probably couldn't happen any other place, but that's kind of what happened. So I go to Ken Riley said, you know what, you're interested, hey, let's do it. So got a full-time job. I'm the intramural sports director at FAMU. I'm coaching, teaching the golf class. I'm teaching the golf class, and I'm coaching the team. And I go talk to Cynthia Jones because Cynthia always handled the money in athletics. Anybody knows, those days, Cynthia did the money. So Cynthia said, man, we pay golf coaches $6,000. I told Sika, I said, $6,000 for the whole year? Well, that's what they paid. But here's the beauty of it. If you follow your passion, the money will come. If you follow your passion, you can do some special things. My first year coaching the golf team, we finished number 2 at the National Minority Championship, but more importantly, the HBO Real Sports did a special on black college golf. And guess who was featured on HBO Real Sports, my first year coach? You $6,000 going to pay for that anywhere you go. And it wasn't me. It was actually FAMU getting coverage in that particular way. And so, of course, we went on a great run. We had a couple national minority runner-up championships. We kept kind of losing either to Bazoo Cookman or Tennessee State, who most of the players on their team didn't look like us and didn't speak a lot of English, but, that's what it was. And then we kind of had a bump in the road in 2005, and within about 90 days, suspended the program. We were having some budget issues, suspended the program. We came back about 90 days later. We lost a couple guys that next year. We went on and got another national runner-up. And then, of course, we've been kind of making a decent run recently as well. Until last year, we had another bump in the road. And I say those things are bumps in the road, but it really puts some things in perspective for you. And as we were kind of making a decision, going back and forth, and Carl and I, we kind of know where we stand on the food chain, just so you all know. Carl and I have an ongoing agreement that if we can ever get an AD to pay us $24,000 a year, we don't want no more than that. $2,000 $2,000 a month, we good. Carl and I have never made that, by the way. That's the agreement. You know, we get a little closer, but we were getting a little closer. This year we work for free, right? So they got a real good deal this year. But no, I say that because I think sometimes when people think about money and things that are coming in, we want you all to know just some of the things that are happening. And when you have Rattlers behind these programs, we do what we got to do to make it work. Carl and I never look at it in terms of Carl and Marvin. We say, hey, what do the kids need? What does the program need? That's kind of what we have to do. But you have to know when you got to fight. Some people, we had a new president, you know, some people when you got change coming in, as Cheryl talked about earlier, people say you kind of got to go with the flow, don't buck the system. But I knew one thing. If that golf team or tennis team left that campus last year, it would never come back. And I was in a golf cart with Fumi. Fumi, you remember this? I said, Fumi, if we go, we'll never come back. And so you had to fight a respectful fight. You have to be tactful when you're making arguments and making, doing some things. But the one thing I can appreciate about Dr. Manga, she told me recently, she said, you know what? You put your money where your mouth was. And so we went out there, we started talking to people. Tommy Mitchell, thank you so much for calling me, Greg Clark. They started doing these, little things like this at different events and started collecting money. And then, of course, Dr. Friday Strauss said, hey, I got a couple of golfers who are business students. I got some money for you. I got a dermatologist in class, and I got a big-time dermatologist in Tallahassee, whose mother happens to be my mother's sister, so he's my cousin. Y'all get that one later. But he gave money to the program. Different people. I got Dr. Webster, lives in my subdivision. He see me chipping and putting in the front yard. He gives money. So these different people. Then, of course, I got this lady telling people to give $10. So it all kind of So we're doing some great things, but I want you all to know the guys, they fight. Even this past year, just real quick as I sit down, at the MEAC tournament, we had a couple tough first 2 days. And on that last day, we made a charge out of nowhere. We were making a charge. We were in 4th place going into the last day. We caught Savannah State. They were in 3rd. We were right on the cusp of catching Bethune-Cookman. They were in 2nd. And literally, the skies opened up, thunder and lightning. You can't play golf in thunder and lightning. You play a little rain, but not thunder and lightning, right? Well, you're really going to be playing some golf, right? But we made that run. We finished in 4th place at the VA Championship. They had to cancel the last round of golf. We went to the National Minority Championship last weekend, and we finished in 4th place. But guess what? We were the first team in the MEAC. We were the top team in the MEAC out of teams that were there. Just so you guys know how things kind of happen. Now we have a team in the MEAC division, just to give you some dynamics, called Augusta State University. Augusta State University joined the MEAC conference last year because for all those years, the MEAC conference only had 4 golf teams. You got to have 6 to have a conference championship in order to have an automatic qualifier to the NCAA regional. So we got a 15, we got a 16, and then we lost FAMU. So during that time, the MEAC conference did what they had to do to go find a 16. The only problem is Augusta State in 2010 and 2011 was the Division I national champs. That's like adding Notre Dame, coach, to the MEAC football South Division. You're like, hey. But, the thing it'll do, it'll take the quality of play up. We'll have to probably do some things differently, and we'll try to stay true to the Rattler spirit, so to speak. But I just want to say, because of a gentleman, and I think he's an icon, Hansel Tooks, who in the 50s took this golf program and had a crazy run. The building that I worked in, or I didn't work in a building, but I worked in recreation, and we built a building and named it after Hansel Tooks. I could not, Marvin Green, a Rattler, an Omega man at FAMU, and have this Omega man from FAMU who did so much for FAMU athletics, FAMU golf. The Orange Blossom Classic, everything that Hansel Tooks did, that's what this was about. So just so you all know, a lot of times when we fight, and we make some of those arguments and those things, it's a lot of history behind it. So FAMU golf, hopefully, is here to stay. We're going to work our butt off to get better. I know people ask about the women's golf team. That's something that we, hope to add as well. And just, only reason we don't have women's golf right now, because a couple of years back, the MEAC added women's bowling. That's technically our counterpart sport, because most of the teams in the MEAC are in the Northeast, and they were able to obviously get access to more bowling houses than they were golf courses. So I get that question a lot, and I think these type of environments is good to have that information get out there. People say, why y'all have a women's golf team? What's wrong with y'all? No, it's not no discrimination against women. I got two young daughters in the house who play golf, so hopefully I can stay around long enough to coach them, but that's kind of where we are now. We hope to be doing a lot of great things. So I appreciate all your support. You guys sent a lot of messages, text messages, and other things like that during our time that we were quote unquote down. But we may have been down, but we've never been out. And FAMU Golf is here to stay. Thanks.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here for sure. And Coach Green, thank you for those kind words. They put Notre Dame in our conference. We lived there. We don't got a plan, so I can say that. But anyway, it truly is a pleasure to be here. And listening to yesterday, again, just to echo, what Coach Samuels had talked about, listening to Tommy and how passionate he is as he goes about talking about FAMU and raising money for the university as a whole, as well as for athletics, because obviously we are a part of the university, and we want to be represented in a first-class way as well. But it almost makes me feel I get a complex that I didn't go to FAMU. Sitting and talking and hearing all the stories, I'm saying, damn, what was I thinking about? But we all do have it makes me feel, obviously comfortable and delighted to be the 17th head football coach here, to have followed in the footsteps of guys like Coach Gaither, obviously who had a great run here back in the day, so to speak. And I know that, another Ohio native, I'm from Ohio, Rudy Hubbard had a great time here, won a national championship. So again, to follow in the footsteps of those men, I'm extremely proud to do that. And then also the history of this school. Again, I'm from northeastern Ohio, but I don't care where you go. From the time I was born in late 50s, early 60s, but knew about FAMU then in Ohio. Know folks that, matter of fact, that went to school here. They migrated from the south and going to school at FAMU. So it's always been a part of my fabric and part of my mind in terms of thought. But just to talk about our football program. I heard Marcella David talk about best in class. I heard her talk about best in class, land grant, doctoral research institution. It just happens to be an HBCU. Student-centered. Those thoughts and those philosophies and those ideals are congruent with how I'm trying to establish our football program. The same as President Manuel talks about in terms of the university as a whole. That's how I want to see people view our football program. That's what I'm here to talk about. Because we want to demonstrate that we have pride in who we are and what we do and who we represent. Not only just in our play on the football field, but how we conduct ourselves across that campus, how we go to class, how we compete in the classroom, how we compete on the football field with a lot of sportsmanship and enthusiasm, a lot of color, a lot of excitement, a lot of toughness. That's what we're going to be about, being first in class. It happened to be an HBCU. And want to play damn good football. Okay? Here's where we are. Here's what we're doing right now. We're in the summer phase of our program. And that's where we need help because, again, we're trying to put all of our guys through summer school, each phase, the C and the B session of summer school. And that's how we're going to get them graduated in the 9 semesters that you'll hear me talk about later. But we're in our summer phase of our program. This includes training and summer jobs. because that's part of our 4 pillars of development, is making sure our players are developed athletically. They get a chance to get developed from a professional standpoint, and learning how, one, go get a job, how to maintain that job, and then how to build their resume as they go through college. So that's what we're doing right now in the summertime. And we want to provide our student athletes with a great experience, just because, just what Dwayne talks about, and you all have talked about it. They are ambassadors of our university, and you all know that, the former athletes, and all of you who are former students know that. You go out and you talk about this school in a very passionate way, because you had a great experience here. We want to provide that for our student athletes as well, and especially, obviously, our football players. We want them to say great things because they are our engine for recruiting. Recruiting is 90% of our chance to be successful at any college program. So we want them, when we bring other student athletes on campus, we want them to say, hey, great things about their experience at FAMU, at Florida A&M University. Hey, here's the coaches and these folks around here have taken care of us. They've done all the right things by us and provided us with a great experience, for our college athletic careers. And that's what we want to do. That's what I want to do. That's what our staff wants to do. That's why we came here. And that's part of building a championship culture in athletics and academics at an institution. And we want to do it right here at Florida A&M University. It's been done. We want to sustain it. We want to build it. We want to make you proud of it. And we want to continue to sustain championship level football in all aspects. Not just the X and O's on the field, but in all aspects of what we do. How we carry ourselves. When I recruit a young man, just so you know, now we check out a couple of things. We want to know your academic history. We want to know your social history. We want to know your medical history. We want to know all those things before I ever consider putting you in our locker room. I want to talk to your parents. When you come on an official trip, I don't want to talk to the young man alone. I want to talk to your mom and dad, because I want to know where you come from. I want to know what your values are. Are they congruent with mine? And the rest of the guys in that locker room, because you can get somebody in that locker room, he's not down with what we're about, and you can get a mess in a hurry. You get a mess in a hurry. So that's what we're trying to do. That's how we're trying to build our football program. And again, I like to be clear and concise, so there's no question. There might be a question, but and a concern, but that's how we're trying to build it. And this past semester now, we were adequate in the classroom, but we were not acceptable. We still have too many players under a 2.2 grade average. But we do have 31 with a 3.1 or better out of 75 football players. We've got 9 with a 2.8 or better. So we're going in the right direction. In my charge here, as I came in, we had an issue at Buffalo. That's where I came from, the University of Buffalo. We had an APR deficit there. We had 75 D's and F's when we took over that program. When we left, we had 0. Now, here in the fall, we had 47 D's and F's at FAMU, 32 this spring. So we're going in the right direction in reducing those. Here's what I tell our student athletes, and it's enforceable. 1, A's are for high achievers. B's are okay. C's get degrees. D's are for dummies. F's are for fools and failures. And we're not paying for no F's. Okay, with nobody's money. That's what I tell them. And that's what we talk about. That's how we run the program. And I think that bodes well for academic success in the classroom. And here's the other thing. We just don't say that. We give them instructions. Hey, if you're in a class situation, you get a C on a paper, you get a C on an assignment, you get a C on a test. If you don't seek academic support help, tutorial help, and you come to us in the 11th hour and you flunk that class, that bill's going home to mom and dad. We're not paying for it. Okay? That's how we're going to conduct it, and I think that's an incentive. All right? Obviously, that's what we did at Buffalo, and I think it'll have a chance to work here as well. And we talked about, and I talked about the 4 pillars of our program: academic, social, spiritual, and athletic. And also that's community service as well. Because I think our players need to know what it's about to give back in their community. Go out and help others in whatever way you feel comfortable and you're the most gifted and you can do the best job, you can represent yourself, the university in the best way. That's the kind of opportunities we're looking for in the community for our players, to give them that kind of exposure as they go through college. And as you all know, we all went to college. Hey, we're building that resume. We're building that network as we go. Because we don't know, every time we encounter someone and we interface with someone, we don't know, hey, that might be our next employee. That might be the next Bill Gates that we just met and worked for. You don't know, so we want to make sure we put our best foot forward in everything that we do. Now, our vision, once again, is to create a championship culture of academic and athletic excellence. Our mission is to graduate our student athletes in 9 semesters. Okay? And here's how, and the only way we can do that is to put them through summer school. We need to have a fully funded summer school program that's sustainable every year. Right now, if we put all of our guys through summer school, right now, it'll cost us $148,000 for the summer. Put every guy through there. Now, here's what happens. Here's what our summer program is all about. It's about academics, and it's about athletic development. That's what it's about. The NCAA says in that first session, you don't have to be in summer school to participate in workouts. But in the second section, you do have to. So it's governed. It's mandated. So that's why we want to put them through summer school, and also keeps us on track. They have to take 15 hours a semester, pass them all, a minimum of 3 in the summer, 6 on the maximum, and we'll get you out in 9 semesters. So you're playing that senior year as a graduated student. Mike Morris, our starting tight end, he's in that situation this year. He graduated already. He's going to play and start tight end for us as a graduate student. That's what we're trying to develop. Not just one guy. We're trying to do that across the board with 10 or 12 guys, obviously, and keep it rolling. Because you know what they do, or thinking in that last year is that, hey, everybody wants to go to the NFL. Or they think, and that's the kind of guys we're looking for, by the way. We want a guy that wants to graduate and he thinks he can play pro football. That's what we want. Okay, so when he's in that 9th semester, he's graduated. If he decides, hey, I want to go work out, I want to do it, great. You've already graduated. If you want to do that, stay, get your master's, work on a double major. But you're not going to hurt us with our APR and our graduation retention rates because we've already got you done. And now we don't have to have that leverage. The leverage has already been applied because we got them graduated on the front end. So that's the idea, that's the philosophy behind getting them done in 9 semesters, okay? Also, our mission is to win the MEAC. But when you win the MEAC, you better win the Classic, correct? Yeah. I'm just checking. I don't know. And our strategy, of course, is to get the right people. Because you can't do any of this without the right people, okay? And the way we're going to do that is what I talked about in recruiting, is ask the right questions, get in front of the right people, get the right prospects and their parents on campus, and then show them what you have, okay? And we're going to get to that here in a minute, all right? And then we're going to have a plan of development. We're going to get our guys to perform on Saturday because that's what it's all about. And I hear some of the guys talking about, hey, we'll do more with less. Well, here's what I know about doing more with less in football. It gets your ass fired. That's what that philosophy will do. We need more, and we'll do more. Okay? We need adequate support, and we all know what we're talking about. Okay? And I'm going to go through the numbers here in a minute. All right? Hey, we open up at USF in Tampa, September 5th. If you need a season ticket, see Angela, see me, see Angela Sugg, see Dwayne. If you need a season, and see any of these coaches up if you need a season ticket for football. We'll have them on our back pocket. We're ready to go. All right. Hey, 26, Tennessee State. Tennessee State's got a really good football team coming back, but then they're coming to us. All right. We need that stadium filled. We need it to the rafters, the band, everybody we can get. And I don't usually do this, but I guarantee you we're going to come out and get after their butt, okay? It's going to be a fun football game. Don't miss it, okay? Florida State ain't playing that day, all right? So, again, we should capture everybody, get them in the brag, and let's go, all right? As we prepare to perform and get our guys to play at top levels, okay, I am always, as a head football coach, as the CEO of, and that's what it should be, a multi-million-dollar business, okay? All right, we're always evaluating our methods, all right, of how we do things, all right, and how our coaches coach and how we teach, because that's what it's all about. And that's an ongoing process, all right? Constantly evaluating our methods and our resources. okay? Recruiting, our recruiting footprint, Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. And we will go outside of that footprint, all right, if we have relationships. We're not trying to spend money, or we're not trying to waste money to go recruit a guy somewhere that he's got to fly over 10,000 schools to get to ours, and there's really no interest, okay? There has to be a high level of interest, probably has to be an alumnus involved somewhere. And what I mean by that is that, hey, you know this person, or you have some insight that this person wants, that truly is interested in FAMU, hey, we'll go see him, we'll fly to where we have to go, Los Angeles, Montana, wherever it is, we'll go see him as long as that connection is there, so we don't waste any time and money, because we're not interested in vacation resorts to Florida. Okay, all right. We want people to come that are very interested. All right. And then our national base is Family Connection. All right. Our prospect, I talked about it, academic history, social history, athletic history, and medical history. Okay, that's important. When you're recommending a kid to me, you ask them. You're the recruiter. You ask those same questions. Don't send them to me, all right? And then I find out he had 2 broken legs when he was a junior in high school. And now what am I going to do with it? And now we got to spend money. We got to spend money out of our budget, okay? Out of our medical budget to repair the guy, and then he probably never gets on the football field. Ask him, hey, son, have you ever had an MRI? Have you ever had a concussion? Because if you do, hey, it's not a deal breaker, but we want to know so we can do the best job that we can do to take care of you from a medical standpoint, if we're going to bring you into our program. So those are the kind of things we want to know and answer. Resources, operational budget, okay? Recruiting budget, scholarship. And I'm going through all scholarships, equipment, travel, salary, capital improvement, maintenance, IT work. And we do not have adequate IT in our office. We're trying to get them right now, because right now, one, we're on NPR, so we get 16 hours a week opposed to 20 hours a week that our opponents get to prepare. All right, and I walk into our office right now. They're borrowed. We've got computers, okay? But we couldn't flash up a video to study South Florida if we wanted to. Now, you imagine going into that professor's class, okay? The only thing he's got is a piece of chalk, and it's down to here, got no eraser and no chalkboard. But you got to pass the test. Okay? So again, we're talking about just giving us an opportunity to compete. And again, hey, it's a challenge, but I'm up for it. I'm up for it. And but you got to help me. You got to help me whenever you can and wherever you can. And we're going to do our level best, because when you obviously not. And it won't take us to win a couple football games for you to say you're proud to be a Rattler, because you already are. But it helps. It's always nice. But we need teaching tools, and hey, here's a typical 1AA, and here's what we need. And I'm not talking athletics, I'm talking football. We need $3.6 million a year to run a football program. Okay? That's what we need. That's everything. All right? That's the whole three. And here's what they are. Montana spends $5.8 million. Delaware spends $6 million. Townsend spends $3 million. North Dakota State spends $4 million a year. Furman spends $6 million a year just on football. Now, I'm not talking to anyone else. And now in the MEAC, is all this pretty congruent and same? Sure. But I'm not trying to be the best of the worst. I'm trying to be the best of the best. Okay? Lamar, I thought they dropped football, but they're back to spending $3.5 million a year on their football program to do the things that we talked about. And it's just basic necessities. And there's got to be trust. You got to understand, in football and in athletics, our administration is as transparent as you want to be, because, again, and I'm an outsider, if you will, okay? I sense that, hey, there's a certain level, hey, I don't know where that money's going. Hey, if you don't trust me, just tell me. I don't trust you, Coach. Well, I got it then, okay? Well, don't send your money, send it over to Coach Green if you trust Coach Green. But if you do, let's go. Because we don't have time for the, hey, I'm telling you where we're going to spend this money. I'll put it on the website so you can see, hey, this is what they spend for recruiting. This is what they pay the coaches. And I'm not paying them a lot. And I didn't take this job for the money. Hey, this is what we do. I'm trying to win football games. I'm trying to establish a legacy in football. If I didn't make some money, I've been in this 35 years. If I ain't already made some money, shame on me, okay? All right? So I'm trying to coach football. I'm trying to instill some values in young men, and the young men that I coach and I interface with every day. And some people refer to us and them as an endangered species. I'm trying to, because I tell them, hey, if you're a low rider, you can't play here for me, bro. All right? Okay? If you want to do all this other craziness, you can't play here for me, man. All right? So you go because that's not what you came to FAMU for. You came here to better yourself. You didn't come here to take yourself down the other way, okay? So we're not interested in the foolishness and the nonsense. I'm interested in serious guys, and they are out there, believe me. They are out there, and we're going to scour the country. We're going to scour Florida to find the right ones for us. So when they step on the football field, and when you see them on campus, you say, there goes the football player. And you're going to smile, you're going to be. That's the goal, that's the objective. That's what we're trying to get done with this football program. But we need summer school. We need summer school every year. Again, if I did it completely right with our freshmen coming in as well, $148,000. That includes 15 out-of-state kids. It costs $154 an hour to go to summer school, right? For an hour, 1 hour, but 3 hours is what you got to take total. It takes $548 for an out-of-state. Okay, so that's 3 hours. That's roughly about $1,700 to take 3 hours. We want to give them a stipend of $1,200 so they can eat and they can pay their rent, which is not a lot of money for the time we're keeping them there. We're keeping our players there from, they're there right now. They start the summer program May 11th. We will adjourn that program July 23rd, give them some time off, and then we go to work August 3rd in our camp, getting ready for fall, for our 11th season season, okay? And we're ready to roll. But that's what we're doing. Anytime you want to know what our schedule is, how we're spending money, how we're traveling, we're not our coaches are out right now recruiting. We're not exorbitant, okay? They know me. I'm pretty frugal with money and that kind of stuff because I'm trying to stretch. I'm trying to get the best bang for the buck in how we travel, how we do things, so we can stretch our money out and make it work for us and get this thing going in short order. Because again, right now, I'm the winningest coach in FAMU history. If I can help it, I'd like to keep it that way. And again, this conference has been absolutely wonderful, eye-opening, a great experience for me, inspirational. Obviously, and I say that in all sincerity, and I know this, that we all have, our life's experience is very similar. Because I look out in the crowd and I see a lot of folks that look like me. And that's what's important to me. And I'm glad that you welcome me into your family. I'll do the very best I can. You'll always get the best days of work out of me. Again, I don't need a game plan. I need some players. Okay? Thank you.